Alright, what's going on today, guys? We got a look what came today. Talked about it last week when I posted a video on cleaning without a case tumbler, and I said I was going to buy this here next week, and I did. So I got it today, and kind of just want to do an unboxing of it, and we'll put some dirty brass in it, fire it up, and then, see how it comes out. I'll kind of go over pros and cons versus traditional tumblers, dry tumblers with, walnut or corn media versus the stainless steel. So let's go ahead and open it up. This is the Frankford Arsenal rotary tumbler kit. Starting off, one of the cons to wet tumbling is the price. This system here is about 162 something, I believe I paid for it, and that's, unless you find it on sale, that's usually the price it hovers. So you can get into dry tumbling for about 50-60 bucks and have some pretty good looking brass, but if you really want to go the extra step and get that super clean shiny new brass, a wet tumbler is where you're gonna have to go. So that being one of the cons and pros to wet tumbling and dry tumbling, pro being it gives you cleaner brass, con being it's a lot more expensive startup. Now, I don't have a dry tumbler anymore, so I can't do a side-by-side comparison, but I have owned one. I've used one for at least the last few years when I was reloading, and so I have some experience with them. So this will be a new experience for me, so I can't speak to it. I'm just going off of what everybody else says and the rave that's going on with this machine and others like it. So let's go ahead and pull her out of the box if we can and try to keep it on camera as much as possible. Maybe we can slip. This one slipped, that one's not. Okay, so we got the drum. Feels like the 5 pounds of media they give you with it is inside the drum. Instructions there. Then we got, let's see, we got the 2 sifters, one for each side. So going with the sifters, that is one of the, if you consider it a con, some sample cleaner they give you, a Frankford Arsenal sonic brass cleaning solution. I'll be using Lemon Shine and Dawn more than likely. I might look up some tips to get the best brass, the cleanest brass you can possible, but that's what I'm going to try out first. But I might go ahead and see what this stuff they sent's all about. If I like it, I might go ahead and buy it. So, back to what I was saying, that's all that's in the box. So we're going to set this out here. So, like I said when I was talking about the sifting lids, that's one of the cons, is after it's clean, separating the brass and the media and waiting for it to dry. So, Frankfurt, of course, sells a dehydrator, is what I call it because that's what it is, as a dryer for your brass. If you have a dehydrator for your jerky or something, I got one out in the garage I'm gonna have to go get. I've never used. That's what I'll be using. A lot of people throw them in the oven for 30 minutes at 115, 120 degrees, maybe more. You can find out the exact temperature and stuff online. So instead of as a regular dry tumbler, you just toss it in the sifter, spin it around a few times, and your brass is good and ready to load. So you will have a little bit of downtime with drying. As far as I'm aware of right now, there's really no way to do it super quick. Basically taking it out of the drum into load, but that's where you plan ahead, things like that. So you've got your pros and cons with both systems. Another con with the dry system that everybody else has spoken of is the lead in the air. I typically do it out in the garage, away from where any livable conditions would be, so that was never something that I worried about, nor probably ever will. So that's something you keep. All that gets drained, put down the drain. So let's take a look at it here. Or flip it up on in so you can see it without bending the cord. So it's got setting on the front, pretty much just a timer. You got 30 minutes to 3 hours. That's something I'll have to experiment with, see what the best time is. It'll also depend on how dirty your brass is also. So you might be able to just do it for an hour. You might be able to have to do it for 3 hours. That's going to depend on how much you got in there, how dirty it is. So the brass we're going to be cleaning ain't that bad. I might throw some bad 45 I have in there just to see how good it'll do, and I'll kind of show you those before I put them in there. So that's how she works. You got time set. So it's got the timer is just like a standard kitchen timer. It has no batteries or anything. I can hear it in there ticking right now. Seems like it just shuts off when it's done. Let's go ahead and open up the drum. So you got top lid, your main lid. Maybe I get it out of there. And then they send you 5 pounds of media with it. Stainless steel. 318 stainless steel is what the box said. Another pro to wet tumbling is, at least from what I've heard, this media lasts for a very long time, if not forever. So once you have a good amount of media, the only way you're probably going to need to replace it for a long time, correct me if I'm wrong, is if you're losing it. You know, you throw it away or something like that. So this 5 pounds should last quite a long time. Only time will tell, though. So, of course, you got your instruction manual. You want to read that, but basically the way I'm understanding it is, you throw your brass in. This tub will hold. It says up to 1,000 223 rounds, which is quite a bit. You know, plus your media in the water and everything. I won't be tumbling that much at a time, but. We'll get what we can in there. So basically you'll put all your solution in, your stainless steel pins, your brass, your water, your limit shine or whatever cleaner you're using. Go ahead and put make sure your seal is down on there good. Lock it in tight. And then I believe it just sets right on there like that. Now, I don't know if I want to be dumb and do this without anything in there, but I think I want to try. Just to pop it on and see what happens. See how it spins, maybe see how quiet it is with nothing in there. And then we'll get to actually putting some brass in there, putting the cleaner in there and seeing what she does. So, got her plugged in there. Then we go and just kick it on for a few minutes. Fairly quiet. I'm sure it's going to sound different to your phone or to your laptop or whatever you're watching this on, but it's fairly quiet. Now I can only imagine adding brass and stainless steel in there. It's going to get quite loud. So this isn't something you're going to be able to just tuck in your corner of your bedroom or probably even the next room over and go to sleep. But you might be able to. Maybe something we'll have to try. Doesn't seem to be vibrating too bad. That crimp die sitting there. It's not moving too much, so not too bad. So now what we'll do, we'll cut. I'll get my brass ready, get my liquids and everything I'm going to go ahead and put in there, and then we'll come back. We'll throw it on. Let me do a little bit of research of what time I want to put it in for. I'll probably put it in for an hour, and then we'll see what the brass looks like before and after. So we'll be back here in just a second. Alright, so now we're gonna got everything set up. I got all the brass I want to clean, deprimed. I went ahead and did that. I don't really like that because it's putting all that nasty, dirty crap into my dies. So I don't know, from now on I might run them through a quick cycle, just to knock most of that dirt off before I deprime them. It's not that big of a deal because I can always clean my dies, but just kind of one of them things, and I'm sure it wouldn't hurt them. Most of my dies are RCBS, so you know they should hold up pretty well, as will most dies. I'm gonna run some 45 and some 40. Now a lot of these 45s, the top section I've already cleaned, like I did in my the other video where I just no tumbler and I just did it as with the little little rod and stirred it around, and that gets them fairly clean. So these probably won't be able to tell that big of a difference. And a lot of the 40 cases are nickel, but at the bottom there's some dirty regular brass. Same with this. I'll show you once I dump some of it in there how dirty they are, so we can get a good comparison of how they're going to look after we add everything and let it tumble for a while. So basically what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start dumping in the 40 brass. I'll dump all the brass in first. Of course, I got one side tight, the seal's in there good. Let's just go ahead and start putting the brass in. These nickel cases come out looking real good. I went ahead and deprimed them, like I said, just so the primer pockets get really clean. It's never something I've ever thought of before as being a big deal or concerning to me, but you know, it's something everybody talks about with wet tumblers, that they get the primer pockets really clean, and why not, right? Let me get down here into the brass. So these aren't terribly dirty. They're just probably be once fired, twice fired actually, because most of my 40 I've already loaded once, and they were sitting in a can out in my on my other bench out in the garage for at least the last year or two. So they've been sitting around for a while, so you can kind of get a decent look at how those are. They're not terrible. Some of these 45s are though, so let's go dump the rest in there. We'll sort them out later. My kids love doing that, so then we'll dump the 45s in. You can kind of see some of these are real actually corroded. That's one thing I didn't like about running them through brand new dyes. So get a glimpse of how they look. Pretty tarnished. Some of them really corroded, so we see how those come off. Not very shiny. There's a few really bad ones in here too. Okay, so got that mixed together. We'll go ahead and add the brass pins. Just gonna go ahead and open these up. Comes with 5 pounds of pins in the box. I'm just gonna dump them all in there. More the merrier, right? Okay, so 5 pounds of stainless steel pins. Really small, so you don't want these going everywhere, so make sure you get them in there. I can already see how fun that is it's going to be to get all those out of the cases. Put those bags up. Brass those later. So right now you can kind of see down in there. Can't see the brass. Get them shook up there. It's going to clean the pockets, or the primer pockets and the inside of the case really well. Now, I'm going to use, for this run, just to give it a test, this Easy Sonic brass cleaning solution that Frankford sent with the kit. And I'm also going to throw a little bit of lemon shine in there. The acid that's in the lemon shine really helps shine them up. So we'll see. This is going to be a kind of a trial run for me. I'm just kind of basing things off of, I know lemon shine works well, and I know that's what a lot of people use. And instead of using Dawn, I'm going to use this solution. And then I'll probably, my next batch, cut this open without getting it everywhere. My next batch I will use Dawn and Lemon Shine and see how it comes out. The instructions say use the whole packet. For your first time, you probably should have more brass. So this packet will do the whole 1,000 cases of 223 or whatever you have. So might as well, your first time using it, load it up, give it a shot, and see how it comes out. And I'm gonna go ahead and add the water. I just got some jugs here, so I didn't have to go to the sink. I'm just gonna dump this in. Now it says in the instructions to fill it up right around this top line, so you're gonna fill it up. So I might even need more water than the 2 jugs I have. I got 2 of them here. Let's pour this one in. We might be all right. Sure, a little less water isn't gonna hurt anything. We're almost there. We're to about right here under the lip. I might go ahead and add just a little bit more water. Let me grab a jug here. Figured that was going to be enough, but it's not. Okay, so coming up to right about here is where the instructions says. So right around, you don't want it obviously coming up past the contour here where it comes, where the lid will screw on. So we've got our brass in there, our stainless steel pins, the solution that Frankford sends. Now I'm going to dump a little bit of Lemon Shine in there. I don't have a teaspoon handy. I think that's what they recommend, so I'm just going to kind of eyeball it here. You don't want to use a lot of this stuff. This stuff's pretty powerful, and it will turn your brass pink if you use too much, like I said in one of my other videos. So now we'll go ahead and put the seal on. Make sure your seal's down. It's not got any holes in it or anything. Put it down. Make sure you get the lid on there right. Don't cross thread it on. Go ahead and tighten it up. Now before I throw it on the tumbler, kind of give it a little leak test. Seems awfully heavy, but you know, as per the instructions, that's what it says to do. So now what I'm going to do, see a little bit of water here on my bench, so make sure that's not coming from this. I feel like it is, some left over. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the tumbler out to the garage. I'm going to let it run. I think I'm going to go for 2 hours, according to the recommendation, maybe an hour and a half. Once I'm done, I'll drain the water, and then we'll see how it looks. And that'll be the end of my unboxing review on the Frankford Arsenal wet tumbler. So we'll see you here in about 2 hours when it gets done tumbling. Figured I'd bring it out and show it in action too. Brought it out in the garage because it is a little loud. I want to go to bed, so got it set for 2 hours. Got a nice look in there. See it tumbling around. We'll come back here in 2 hours. We'll rinse it. We'll separate it the best we can, and we'll see how it looks. Hopefully you can get a kind of an idea of how loud it is. It's really not that bad. It's loud, but it's not pretty smooth, really. So if you had your loading room away, you know, a couple rooms away from where you're sleeping, probably couldn't really tell. So it's not that bad. We'll come back here in just a little bit, see how she looks. Alright, so we went through the 2 hour tumbling cycle now. We're going to dump some of this out, dump all of it out, see how the brass looks now. Now that I've thought about it, getting the little magnet sifter thing, the little magnet that they recommend, probably something I'm going to need to order. So I'm going to just go ahead and order that tonight because I'm trying to sort these stainless pins out of the water. you got this that I'm gonna put on there, a sifter that'll keep all the brass in there. But next time I go to use it, I feel like I need to put the seal on there. Next time I go to use it and I want those stainless pins, I'm definitely gonna need them. So I'll have to use the magnet. I think that's how it goes. Seems smart to put the seal on. So we'll tighten that up. I'm gonna dump it in this little fish tank I got over here just to get the brass out. Some dirty water. So let me cut real quick. Let me get all these stainless pins out, shake them up, and then we'll look at and see what the brass looks like. Well, just to document, that didn't go very well. I barely tapped the tumbler base on this fish tank, and it busted a hole in the bottom of the tank. That's what I get for setting it on top of an LP tank. So, but I did clear all the water from the stainless steel pins, and made a fish tank that was sitting in the garage for years, useless, even more useless. So we'll throw that away after we get all the stainless pins out. So let's see how the brass looks. All right, dumped out some of the brass here. It's looking pretty good. It's kind of hard to tell what cases were which. A lot of these 45s were really dirty. They came out pretty good, not as shiny as I was hoping. And the process is something you want to be prepared for. You don't want to just dump it all in a bucket, fish tank like I did, and bust the thing. Lost a lot of stainless pins on the ground, so I'm gonna have to order some more stuff. So it keeps getting more expensive because I don't have a big dump sink out in my garage, so I need to get the sifter and everything and do it the right way. So I'll go ahead and order that. Do this the right way, but so far the brass came out pretty good. Pretty shiny, I like it. It's clean. I mean, inside those, look at the inside of those cases. I mean, they're about flawless as you can get. Look at them primer pockets. So that's my review of the Frankford Arsenal rotary tumbler, wet tumbler, and the kit that it comes with. So see you next time. Like the video if you liked it. Comment down below and tell me your favorite way of tumbling, whether you like wet or dry, and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching.